Hi everyone, my name is Julie Tujeski and I am a librarian here at the Center for Legal Information. This is part of a series of videos on how to use the library's electronic resources. This particular video provides an overview of the library's databases. The best way to access our databases is to go to the library website. Here you can see that our databases are divided into three main categories. Popular databases, that is what this particular video will deal with. And then news resources, which will have its own video. And finally, our study aids collection. Again, there will be a separate video for that. This video is simply going to walk through the links under the Popular Databases category. It starts off with the Database Overview. And here is the Database Overview. This is a research guide that simply provides background information on various databases. We have information on how to set up some of the individual accounts that you'll need beyond Lexis and Westlaw, and a place to look for help. We are offering both email and chat help this semester. For the links here, for a particular database, we will have training videos from the vendor, some videos we created ourselves, and some handouts and related materials on how to use the database. Next up is the A to Z database list. So this is the A to Z database list. It is an alphabetical listing of all the databases that we provide access to, along with some information about the database and sometimes links to help resources. Next up are Lexis and Westlaw. I'm going to skip over those because I assume you have some familiarity. Next, I'm going to move on to Hein Online. This is what Hein Online looks like whenever you log into the database. To log in, you will need your multi-pass credentials. Hein Online is best known for its coverage of law reviews. The Law Journal Library, which is the main component of Hein Online, has over 2,800 law reviews and law-related periodicals. A couple things about information in Hein Online. Usually it has fairly comprehensive coverage of the journal. If a journal started in the 1920s, you can find that journal usually from the 1920s to present in Hein Online. That's a little different than Lexis or Westlaw, which often start their law review coverage in the 1980s when digitization became more popular. In terms of the physical layout of items in Hein Online, things are presented in an image format. So basically they look like searchable PDFs. All the pagination, any sort of graphics, that sort of thing is preserved. Two more key points on Hein Online. Starting this semester, we have something called SmartClip. This is a service that allows you to find out all the law review articles that have been published on a particular topic. Say you are interested in animal law, you could sign up for an email alert. Once a week, you would get an email that would tell you all the articles that have been published on animal law in the last week. Second, Hein Online provides access to something called an ETOC service, which is Electronic Table of Contents. So say you were interested in the Pennsylvania Bar Association Quarterly, you could sign up for an email alert. Every time a new issue would come out, you would get an email and you would be able to link to the articles in that particular issue using your email ETOC alert. So that is Hein Online. Next up on the list is Cheetah. Here is what Cheetah looks like whenever you log into it. Again, you need to use your multi-pass credentials. CHEDA is well known for its coverage of highly regulated areas of law, in particular things like tax and securities. There are some primary law materials available in CHEDA. However, it is primarily known for its secondary sources, in particular treatises, practice guides, and then things called smart charts. A smart chart would allow you to do a survey of how a particular topic is covered under the law of various jurisdictions, both state and federal. So this is CHEDA. Next up on the list is LegalTrack. Here is the interface for LegalTrack. Again, it is something that you need to use your multi-pass credentials to log into. LegalTrack provides access to law reviews and law journals, also publications of state and local bar associations, and then also some video. The coverage is not as comprehensive as Hein Online, certainly not in terms of the length of coverage, but both Hein Online and LegalTrack have some unique holdings. So if you are doing a preemption check where you need to check to make sure that there is not an article on a particular topic, I would suggest searching in both LegalTrack and Hein Online. Going back to our list, next up is RIA Checkpoint. This is what RIA Checkpoint looks like. I'm not going to say a whole lot about it. It is a fairly specialized resource devoted to tax and accounting issues. If you are interested in those topics, you might want to try out Checkpoint. Moving along on the database list, next up is eBook Central. And this is what it looks like whenever you log into eBook Central. This is a database that we share with Gumberg Library. So there will be some law-related materials in eBook Central, but there will also be a lot of content that is not law-related. It is a collection of electronic books. You can select an item. And whenever you do that, you will see a variety of information related to the item. Here you can see that our institution has unlimited access to this particular book. You are able to read it online. You could also download it for up to 21 days. And you can download up to 58 pages permanently. These licensing restrictions will vary by book. For many books, we only have access to one copy of the book at a time. But again, it varies. You just need to check under availability to understand how you can access the book. Again, that is eBook Central, which we share with Gumberg Library. Next up is Bloomberg Law. There is a link to sign up. This is a database for which you need an individual account. You do not use your multi-pass credentials to log into Bloomberg Law. If you forgot your credentials or you don't think you ever signed up, you can simply use the sign up link on the library website and you should be able to get either new credentials or get an update on your password. This is the law school interface to Bloomberg Law. Bloomberg Law has a lot of unique resources. If you are interested in transactional matters, it has a great transactional library. It also has a terrific collection of what are called in-focus resources. These are collections of news and practice guidance and other materials related to sort of cutting-edge topics. Bloomberg Law also provides our access to a version of PACER. We do not offer PACER here at the Law Library, but Bloomberg Law connects into PACER. So many documents that you would be able to find searching PACER, you can find searching Bloomberg Law. I will say that starting this semester, there are limits on how much you can utilize the docket materials on Bloomberg Law. However, if you are just occasionally going in and pulling a document from a docket, that is certainly fine. If you need more extensive sort of access, please contact us here at the library. Next up is FastCase. We have two versions of FastCase. One is for in-library use only, and then second, remote access, which means that you can use it at home. The in-library access is for non-law students. The remote access is for law students. And this is what FastCase looks like. If you've ever used FastCase, they have very recently updated their interface. FastCase is used by a lot of practitioners as a low-cost alternative to Lexis or Westlaw. It has a lot of the same primary law coverage. It also has some good secondary sources. I will say that the citator in FastCase is not nearly as robust as the citators in Lexis or Westlaw. That is one disadvantage of using FastCase, although it does provide some citator information through something called Authority Check and a Bad Law Bot. One thing I want to point out, FastCase has this terrific collection of treatises. These are treatises that you can often not find in other resources. They are very practitioner-oriented. If you have some sort of clinic or other real-world need, you may want to try out these Walter Kluwer's treatises on FastCase. Next up on the list is Making of Modern Law. Again, you need to use your MultiPass credentials to log into this resource. I'm not going to say a whole lot about it. It is fairly specialized if you're doing historical research on legal treatises. We do have this collection available. It is the Making of Modern Law. Next is ProQuest Legislative Insight. And here is the interface for ProQuest Legislative Insight. I'm not going to say a great deal about ProQuest Legislative Insight either, because it is, again, fairly specialized. It provides legislative history information for federal statutes. So if you need federal legislative history information, you might want to try ProQuest Legislative Insight. And then finally, last on the list are the Gutenberg Library databases. This is the Gutenberg Library A to Z database list. It is sort of the equivalent of the list that we provide. Remember that as a Duquesne Law student, you do have access to all of these databases, as well as the more legally oriented databases that the Center for Legal Information offers. That is a very quick tour of our database collection. Again, my name is Julie. I am the Electronic Resources Librarian. If you have any questions, you can contact the library. You can use the Ask a Librarian link on the library website, and either I or one of my colleagues will get back to you. Thank you.